Hi, I'm Cindy Brett, Life Success Consultant, trained and certified with Bob Proctor. And today I'd like to speak with you about changing your life if it's less than satisfactory to you. So number one, we've all heard that thoughts become things. And what does that mean? It means the chair we're sitting on, the clothes that we're wearing, the car that we drive, someone had to first imagine the creation of that before it ever could have been made. We can break it down as simply as the last meal that you had. Let's say you had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. First you had to think, I'm hungry, I want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You go into the kitchen and you make it. But remember this, the body did not propel itself into the kitchen. It went into the kitchen following the thought that was going on in the mind. Now, number two, most people are caught in cycles of negative thinking. And that's a real problem when we're repeating those same thoughts and those thoughts are producing experiences in our lives. Number three, we've been taught patterns of thinking. Now, albeit it was people who had our best interest in mind, but we all know we can only teach what we know ourselves. So if they were programmed by negative thinkers, they're going to be negative thinkers as well, and they're going to program us to be negative thinkers too. Now, parents, please listen up here, especially if you have young children between the ages of, say, 1 and 6 or 7 or 8, because those are the years that we're most conditioned by the events that are going on in our lives and the thoughts that are predominantly thought by the people that we live with. Okay, number four, the good news is we can change this. Now, how do we do that? Okay, here's the rub. It takes some effort. But I'd ask you, how much effort does it take to live a life that isn't satisfying? A life of disappointment, a life of fear, a life of anger, a life of frustration, a life of stress. That takes a lot of effort. Now, 3% of the population controls about 97% of the wealth. Okay, why is that? Simply because that 3% is willing to go the extra mile, do just a little bit more than most people are willing to do. But I believe it's not so much that we're unwilling to do it, it's that we don't understand that it's only a razor's edge difference. And I propose if we take that same amount of effort that we're using to survive in our lives and positively focus it on a life that we're designing, I think that we're going to be using that same amount of energy and maybe just a little bit more. But isn't it worth it to live a life that you truly love? Now, there's one more point that I want to make here, and that's that we must take responsibility for our lives. Okay, yes, we were programmed. However, now that we're adults, we're the ones that are doing it. The thoughts that we're thinking are happening from us. Our parents are no longer saying, this is the way things are, we've got to think this way, or even if they are. Now we have the ability to decide for ourselves if that works. And that's what we must do, decide for ourselves. Number five, we'll do this visual demonstration of what I've been talking about. So we're talking about conditioned thinking, thoughts that have been repeated over and over again. So let's let these magnets represent those thoughts. And again, they've been repeated so much that now they've become a cluster of thoughts. We call this cluster of thoughts a paradigm. And these paradigms become our beliefs. We've thought it so much that now we believe it's absolutely true. It can be, I'm a wonderful person and I have a great life, or it can be, my life really stinks and nothing ever works out for me. Either one of it can become the truth for us, can become our experiences, but it's what we put our attention on predominantly that's going to show up for us. So here we have this strong conglomeration of thoughts. And we're going to have these paper clips represent our thoughts. This is the beliefs, this is the paradigm, these are the thoughts. Now, it's said that we have 60,000 thoughts a day. What's interesting about the statistic is that it's also said that 90% of the thoughts that we have today are the exact same thoughts we had yesterday, or last week, or last month, or God forbid, 5, 10, 15 years ago. So if we're having the same thoughts, it only stands to reason that we're going to be having the same experiences. Again, we have the power of these beliefs, these paradigms, and they're going to attract thoughts that match the thoughts that we're having. And more importantly than that, they're going to attract experiences that prove that those thoughts are true. Remember, we can be thinking my life is great or my life stinks. And either way, whatever we most believe and most repeat to ourselves is the experience that we're going to see in our lives. So what can we do about that? Well, we've heard a lot about being in the now, being present. When we're in the now, we can actually experience what's going on for us. So let's say I've got a knot in my stomach, and I start thinking, what is it that I'm thinking about? And I realize that my mind is going over and over, replaying an argument that I had a week ago with my partner. So the knot that I'm feeling right now is a new knot. However, it's coming from that same experience when I first created a knot from that argument. And I can say, okay, that happened a week ago. Stop. I choose to have new thoughts. I choose to use that effort that we talked about and make my mind focus on something else. Now, a really good thing if you've had an argument is to now make yourself focus on really good points about that person, and everybody has them. If they're a friend or a partner in your life, there's a reason that you love that person. And if you start focusing on that, you now can begin to get off of that monkey wheel and begin to think thoughts that are going to serve you better and create a better day and a better life. So let's let this represent a new paradigm. This is a new thought. I'm saying, okay, hold up here. I know this is creating problems for me. I want a new thought. So this is beginning to create a new paradigm, a new block of thoughts, a new belief. Admittedly so. It isn't as strong as this yet, because this has been growing for years and years and years, if not generations. But I can make this as strong, I can grow it as strong by putting my attention here and taking it off here. And as I put my attention here, this is going to grow and become as strong or stronger than this. And guess what? As this grows stronger, this grows weaker until it no longer has any effect on me. Now, this new paradigm will attract new thoughts and it'll attract new experiences. So I can create a more colorful, fun, playful life, one that I really enjoy. Now, most people, we are thinking from a less than calm mind. This represents a calm mind. With a calm mind, we can see all the opportunities that lie before us. We can see the beautiful jewels that are already in our lives. But most people have very chaotic, very confused, shaken up minds. And if our minds are conflicted, we can't see anything clearly. Our perception is very distorted. But again, we're going to experience what we believe. So it's really important that we learn to calm our minds, learn to think, and learn to be deep thinkers. You know, Einstein said imagination is more important than knowledge. And this is what he was talking about, being able to be so calm that we can imagine the life that we'd like to live and then create it. So friends, I know this has been a short explanation, but I hope it really gives you something to think about, because I created this video to help you understand that your life is as great or as dreadful as you think it to be. It all depends on the predominant thoughts that you are holding. And that's what's creating your success or your lack thereof. How much do you practice thoughts that bring you up? And how much do you practice thoughts that are bringing you down? Your magnetic mind is always listening, and it's always delivering to you a match. Our world is hurting now. We all desire peace, and change is possible. We can live in a peaceful world when we have a world of peaceful people. Peaceful thoughts equal a peaceful life. And I suggest to you that that's a thought worth pondering. That's a thought worthy of your life. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I'm Cindy Brett. Please contact me for more information. I appreciate being with you today. Be well, and bye for now.